Elon Musk just launched an impressive SpaceX 3D model spacecraft. Welcome to TechVerse. Let's get started with the video. Elon Musk unveils the 2022 Warp Drive Starship. Engineers in the aerospace business are ready to take the next huge leap forward into the unknown future of the sector. Even if the technology on board the Starship isn't quite there yet, it is aimed squarely at the far future. But how exactly are they going to go about it? I'm curious what SpaceX and NASA have been up to lately. A new Warp Drive spacecraft that is out of this world, according to some accounts, was just unveiled by Elon Musk, SpaceX and NASA. Let's take a closer look at this issue. An actual warp drive, also known as a superluminal spacecraft propulsion engine, is a fictitious superluminal spacecraft propulsion engine that has appeared in science fiction works, most notably in the television series Star Trek, and is the topic of active physics study. During the writing of his novel Islands of Space in 1957, John W. Campbell proposed the concept of warp drive, which was popularized by the Star Trek television series in the following year. It is a fictitious application of the Alcubierre drive, which is a theoretical solution to the field equations of the general theory of relativity that has been developed. It is necessary to provide a rudimentary description of the Alcubierre drive. The Alcubierre drive, also known as the Alcubierre warp drive or the Alcubierre metric, is a speculative warp drive concept proposed by theoretical physicist Miguel Alcubierre during his PhD studies at the University of Wales, Cardiff, based on a solution of Einstein's field equations in general relativity, by which a spacecraft could achieve apparent faster-than-light travel if a configurable energy den, a starship, would traverse distances by compressing space in front of it and expanding space behind it, resulting in effective faster-than-light travel. Objects cannot accelerate to the speed of light in conventional spacetime. Instead, the Alcubierre drive modifies space around an item to allow it to reach its goal quicker than light would in normal space while obeying all physics laws. Solid objects with non-zero rest mass, unlike photons, cannot travel at the speed of light, according to Einstein's special relativity theory. The problem with a material object traveling at the speed of light is that it would require an infinite amount of kinetic energy to do so. Warp drives are a science fiction trope that allows stories set on a cosmic scale to overcome this fiction constraint. The concept of space warp, on the other hand, has been criticized as illogical and has been related to a variety of other rubber science concepts, such as anti-gravity and negative mass, that do not fit into our current understanding of physics. On the other hand, that hasn't stopped scientists from paying close attention to the suggestion. Alcubierre suggested in an email to William Shatner, a well-known science fiction author and actor known for his work on Star Trek, that the word used in the program had a direct influence on his notion, referencing the warp drive of science fiction in his 1994 essay. To go to Andromeda, our nearest big galaxy, it would take 2.5 million light years. Even if humanity could develop a starship that could travel faster than light, our travel options would be restricted. It's a lot less difficult now, but it's still a plan. The universe is immense, as you are well aware. Could we, on the other hand, construct a ship that travels at the speed of light? Harold White, a NASA scientist and the head of the Advanced Propulsion Team, oversaw the space agency's efforts to determine whether a faster-than-light warp drive is feasible and, if so, how to build one. He came up with a model and a concept for a starship that looked a lot like the Enterprise from Star Trek. White oversaw an interferometer experiment aimed at determining the magnitude of such an influence at the nanoscale. The data was ambiguous, and the researchers noted that while there was a non-zero or a non-confirming impact, the difference may have been caused by other causes. To put it another way, more data is required. The experiment's failure does not rule out the potential of warp bubbles. It's simply possible that we're trying to detect them inefficiently. Nonetheless, the fact that we're still attempting to figure out if a warp bubble can form demonstrates how much work remains before the effects can be used for space travel. The spacecraft was more of a publicity stunt than a demonstration of capability, but the implications of a warp bubble that permitted fractional light-speed flying are enormous. We could explore and inhabit the entire solar system if we could travel at 1% the speed of light. That's 0.1%. Light speed would make exploration and colonization of Mars and the Moon much easier. Is there a starship with warp drive? One piece of good news is that a more comprehensive review of the arithmetic has debunked earlier fears that a hypothetical warp drive may wipe out entire star systems. Despite the fact that data suggests this is unlikely to be a problem, boats in close proximity to the warp drive ship may still be in danger. Energy requirements have also fallen considerably from Alcubierre's early judgment that planetary-sized power sources would be necessary to more recent evidence that suggests we could build a spaceship with a power source the size of Voyager 2. Could Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX and Tesla, be the real-life Zefram Cochrane, the fictional Star Trek Warp Drive inventor, astronomer and scientific personality Neil deGrasse Tyson appears to believe so. Tyson asked Musk on Twitter when he will quit fiddling with Mars rockets, hyperloops, cybertrucks, and brain-computer connections and instead focus on building a warp engine like that seen in Star Trek to accelerate spacecraft across universes. He signed it, "Sincerely, space geeks of the world." Musk isn't planning on turning SpaceX and Tesla into side businesses, so he reacted to Tyson on Twitter with a compelling argument for sticking to his primary businesses. If we build a metropolis on Mars, Earth-Mars travel will act as a major driving force towards the development of something like Warp Drive. This Twitter feud will have no bearing on Musk's plans or bring us any closer to a true Warp Drive. We'll have to content ourselves with the dreams of SpaceX Starships landing on Mars. However, it could be exactly what Musk needs in the long run to realize his Mars vision. Except for the cloud tops of Venus, the temperature and sunshine on the surface of Mars are closer to those on Earth than on any other planet or moon. The surface is uninhabitable for humans and most known life forms due to radiation, significantly reduced air pressure, and an atmosphere with barely 0.16% oxygen. The adoption of advanced life support systems in constructed houses would be required for human survival on Mars. Water treatment systems play a crucial role in this. Because humans are mainly made up of water, they would perish in a matter of days if they were denied of it. Even a 5 to 8% reduction in total body water causes fatigue and dizziness, as well as a 10% decline in physical and mental impairment. Humans will have a terrible time surviving on Mars. Several technologies have been developed to facilitate long-term space travel and could be used to colonize Mars. According to scientists, the environment of Mars colonists could have a negative impact on a variety of biological processes. As a result of increased radiation dosages, there are a slew of physical negative effects that must be avoided. Gravitational differences can harm people's health by weakening their bones and muscles. Osteoporosis and cardiovascular problems are also possibilities. Humans are now rotated in zero gravity for 6 months on the International Space Station, which is comparable to a one-way trip to Mars. This allows scientists to better comprehend the physical state in which astronauts on a voyage to Mars might arrive. On Mars, the surface gravity is only 38% of that on Earth. Microgravity has an impact on the circulatory, musculoskeletal, and neurovestibular or central nervous systems. Despite its relatively near proximity to the Sun, Mars's global magnetosphere is weaker than Earth's due to the loss of its core dynamo, which has dramatically diminished the magnetosphere, the source of so much radiation reaching the surface. This, combined with the thin atmosphere of the Martian surface, allows a substantial amount of ionizing radiation to reach it. All of this would generate incentives to reduce spacecraft travel times as much as possible. Warp drives, or a similar piece of technology that has been successfully developed, will provide this in spades. Neil deGrasse Tyson was absolutely correct. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to hit like and subscribe to this channel.